How you guys doing? I'm here with the usual suspects. Suspects, mention your names now. Today we don't want three horizontal colors. Today
you need what?
Today we are doing black and white.
Black and white,
It's only two colors.
Okay.
Black and white.
Okay.
Okay, my name is Joseph Langabe.
No, suspect Joseph Langabe. What
The
does
CID we know where right now in time reach.
Yes.
Chief Inspector Te.
Hey, my man.
Please, no, we want to. We I'm going to ask you a question, really. So please, what does CID stand for?
CID.
Yes, you mentioned CID.
Yeah.
Well, I said the usual suspects, and you said CID. What does CID stand for?
Oh,
What?
You said CID.
Chief Inspector Dokuno.
Samuel District.
Ruben, CID.
CID.
Uh-huh.
Samuel CID is control.
It's about to go down.
It's about to go down, eh? I see.
Control.
Like you where?
Oh, he's my senior boss.
know-
It's your senior boss.
Senior boss in the industry.
Okay.
Yes. I remember.
Good morning to you, Mr. Randy Abbey.
Hey, Mr. Randy Abbey. Today I tell you so that Randy
always
football,
Mr. Randy.
Randy is everywhere in
If you want
football.
to see Mr.
Yes.
Randy on this television.
Don't run away, CID. What is
CID, don't run away. Because of Randy, you are running away.
You bring your Randy so that.
it? We need to pray so quickly.
CID,
CID.
then you play.
Okay, CID. Commission identification.
So-
CID, D is for department.
Good. Yes. And the C?
Chief.
Conflicts. You got department.
Thank you.
Okay.
But Ruby, they don't get anything.
Some-
No, Ruben there, the answer is here. They work for here.
I think the criminal stand from KO.
Okay.
Okay, as Mama is saying, today is a different Saturday.
My friend, keep quiet.
See, some forcing.
No, but how can you say criminal starts with K?
Some, we know criminal is a criminal department, and I say CID. And my mind tell me that so far as criminal, it's criminal. It's a key.
It's okay.
Anyway, who is praying today?
He.
It's your. Hey.
Like today, me. But last week, we passed for you.
Some,
Our great God.
as a good God for you, eh? Hey, old Oli.
Hey.
Some person, you start to.
No, the starting is different.
In that,
Yeah.
the Almighty.
Yeah.
This morning, we come back again, Lord. As you know, if we reach every Saturday, you know that the boy is inside, Lord. Lord,
Glory to God.
yes.
It's
As the Lord that we are coming here, you help me ask, you bring everybody here. I see everybody. So this school is still active. Lord, I put you to use that.
He's the one who's laughing. When you are praying, you go to church, you also is praying. Can you laugh?
Lord, I put you to use that.
That's right.
We are in here, Lord. Lord, as we bring us, as you know, it's a Saturday, Lord. Lord, I put you to use that. We know, as the journey is going, Lord, as you read as this pandemic is continuing, Lord, heal us. Continue to heal us. Let the Ghana to get this COVID-19, the medicine. That's why I'm keeping telling you. I have a professor, but still, also story from. So, Lord, as we know, we bring all our prayers coming back again. As the weekend city show is concerning, in the mighty name of Jesus Christ of Nazareth, I put it to you. Amen.
Amen.
It's something like, if you put it to God,
No,
you're supposed to get.
But I think you're using it wrongly.
Oh, I put it to you. Like, if I put it to you, is that something?
I'm not asking you to explain anything.
You are put it to me is that I explained it wrongly. Oh, but Lord, if I put it to
No,
God.
I didn't say spring grow.
No.
Spring roll.
You know that the spring roll is a choice of some bee.
Hey, my friend.
When you're talking about it,
Hey, Langabel.
the small keys, you're running
Langabel.
away from Sammy.
Langabel. When did you become my PRO?
Daddy?
You.
Yeah, man.
Sammy, I put it to you this morning is that
You put it to your own self. Welcome to the Weekend City Show. Okay, 8 o'clock news.
Oh, yes. We can see this show news.
From a Joy News.
Yeah.
International journalist.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go to the newsroom.
For the weekend.
Good morning. In hefty shock. Plenty Ghanaians are in hefty shock after minister designate are not aware of their ministries.
Honorable Chair, it will be very difficult for me to answer this particular question.
And my answer is not that I was aware of.
Come again?
Not that I was aware of.
Not that you.
I was aware of what I know. And I wasn't consulted with regards to how much is charged.
Are you aware that the company Frontiers Healthcare Services Limited was only incorporated on 21st July 2020?
To investigate why people are laughing at them, members of the Foot Soldiers Fraternity, FUFRA, have cautioned the public to desist from making them a laughing stock. The president, in his 54th COVID response, has promised to increase the allowance of tea-bread sellers in Greater Kumasi. Let's listen to him.
First, Obia top pan or the margin in a yim. But me pan why I did and Katia Yam. Pan why I didn't Katia Yam I yim. Brother Sameminam de Bay.
Center for Foreign Citizens. Here is the president of CFWDA, Yusuf Aminu, speaking to Weekend City Show News team.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We, the Center for False Witness and Deliberate Attempt, CFWDA, would like to express our displeasure with things. How can they not be aware of political things? Does that mean that the health minister is not aware of coronavirus? I, as the president of Center for False Witness and Deliberate Attempt, would like to ask the government of Ghana to send us their salary through mobile money as part of their sanctions, so that next time they will lend immediate effect by sending us their gratia through mobile money.
In other news, Grammy Award winner, 7 times Oscar nominee, and currently the president's favorite R&B singer Matthew Kujawu.
Along my life is unlucky. Welcome along my life is unlucky. I try to compare you when girl of China, and that time when Indian. No one have been like you. I see girl of London. No one have been like you.
Reporting for the Weekend City Show, Saka Osman Dabla Jacob. Wow.
Weekend City Show.
Who put this news for you?
This is an award-winning show.
Wow! The news is genuine.
Now you don't know.
Did you hear the Grammy winner musician, the song featuring Chris Brown?
Yes.
Oh, listen, you know Sami people, Sami people, we invent a lot of things. So Brother Sami, he invented, putting granule paste in bread.
Oh, you can cook. You can cook rice water.
I realized that when you combine rice with water, and you add milk and sugar, it tastes nice.
You
it be me discover
rice water.
Clap for me.
Yes, if we can
water.
No, what am I discovered?
You discover
what you discovered. I put it to you.
Silence that word.
Remember.
Okay, no problem. Charlie, clap for Sami.
Okay.
Rice water man.
Ruben, what did you discover in your life?
Oh, the one I discovered with my own life is that cover anything, but it's too long.
It's too long. Okay,
Yeah.
so you don't worry. You go on news file and then you go and tell them about it.
Yes, I'm the way to go to new.
But after the news, no, you know that we need the weather.
Yes, that's why from Joy FM.
The meteo.
I'm reporting.
No, meteorological. You have to say
meteorological department of.
It's not magical. Meteorological.
It's meteorological. Yes, come from Joy FM. The Ghana forecast. I'm reporting it. How the weather is being. Yeah, if you go to Aflao, if you come to Greater Accra, it is 70%.
Of what?
Of broadcast in Ghana. Forecast in Ghana. Forecast.
70% of what?
Forecast.
No, because I know that when you are talking about...
You come.
You know, it's more of Celsius.
Okay, Celsius. Okay.
Not percent.
Okay, Celsius.
So,
okay.
So Greater Accra again?
Okay, let's go to Greater Accra. It's a Greater Accra Celsius 70 70 Celsius. It's 70 Celsius. If you come to Takoradi, it's 80
Celsius.
80% Celsius.
That's all.
Part of Ghana.
No, it's not you.
Okay, I'm still on my.
On your.
Continue on the trajectory.
You are
okay.
You are
if you
the
go to
Ruben, continue on that trajectory.
Yeah, okay. Celsius. Forecaster. If you are in Boligatanga, it's 70 degrees Celsius.
Okay, but Ruben, we need to know whether it will be foggy, misty.
Okay.
Steamy.
Okay. If
will
you
it
like,
be steamy?
If you like a bronca half, it's a forgery.
It's forgery.
Yeah, it's forgery. If you Greater Accra.
So what will be steamy? At this point, please, you can hand over to your comrade.
My comrade, Mr.
Yes.
Comrade, take
it. Mr. Kenansan, we are sorry of that program on TV3. In fact, things fall apart that day. Oh, we are sorry. We have so many.
So which regions are you focusing on with regards to the weather?
Okay, we are in you also.
Oh, okay.
70 degrees Celsius. The weather will...
Do people know how hot 70 degrees is?
Yeah, degrees Celsius. It's a hot.
Do you know that you can...
Yes. The fly can fly.
But you... What fly?
No, aeroplane can fly.
You give your weather focus already.
Okay,
please, listeners, if you want us to give the weather forecast in your area, please just WhatsApp us on 055 1111997.
Yeah.
Using the power of weekends.
Yes, continue.
Guaso more 70 percent degrees Celsius, 22 months.
22 months.
No, 22.
It joined the din together.
20 Then so let us go to Boligatanga.
I see.
Okay.
I see.
Boligatanga is a dry and
you explain or you are
saying
you know see
Boligatanga have dry and hill 24.
Sammy?
Dry and what?
Hive.
Hive. They didn't write for them.
They're right there. You don't know dry.
Dry and what?
Dry and hive.
Hey, our listener will understand you.
The listeners will go outside and look at their weather.
My brother, go outside and check your weather.
The country will be steamy.
Okay. Dambangu.
What's the weather there?
The weather there is, Damango is dry. 24.
Back axle.
No, but weather axle.
We need weather forecast for Agona Suedru and Agona Bobikuma.
Yes.
You mentioned the whole town.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't know why it's my area. Give it to me. Let me mention.
Your place? Agona Bobukuma is not in the chart.
Weather forecast. Raphael wants to know the weather forecast in Choco. And he wants to know the weather forecast in France and then Latebi Okoshi.
You know that Accra? Yes, so Choco is 20%.
How?
Degree Celsius. So we don't know how we give only Choco the percentage of the.
Okay. This is what. Hey, Charles, some of the names I can't pronounce, so for my own safety. Abu, how do you pronounce the water agent place? Afoga. And Tema Metropolitan is what? 32 degrees Celsius. Oh, so you don't like the 70%?
Afoga is 25 degrees Celsius.
Okay.
Wait. He's the one is giving the thing. Hey, my man, don't try to be a loose.
Okay.
The man is giving the chart here. Then we saw it there with Che.
Nikofi wants to know.
So right now it's
it's Accra. So it's a 70 degrees Celsius for broadcast in Ghana. So all of them is a greater Accra. So I'll give it to him 75 degrees Celsius. 25 degrees
Celsius. 25 degrees Celsius. I mean, which is you want them to die with sun?
Them themselves slow is
no, but if you die with sun, it is 70%.
Yes,
70 degrees.
That's why I mean I give you the correct answer. So crap for Ruben.
The weather in Texas.
The weather in Texas is that how yesterday night I was talking to somebody with New York City. He said all in house is so many is slow and he used the Subaru. He used the Subaru to
No. Ruby, call the name again. It's Subaru.
You said Subaru.
No, I forget. Sorry. Sabina was talking with my man from New York City.
He knows that I'm sitting here.
Yeah.
When he send that message
from
Maryland, I know.
Kwamina in La Paz.
Yeah.
Says Sami, Choco. Gosh.
What the man said?
It says Choco is misty and foggy with isolated thunderstorms.
It's a foggy here. So it's a 70 degrees Celsius. So, it's a good head. The was rated center.
Anyway, the weather forecast will resume next week after the 8 o'clock news.
If this weather forecast is no good.
Oh, Sammy, don't tell them that the weather forecast is
yes, some of our weather forecast is good. It's a rare, please.
So like Boligatanga like this, it's a dry.
Yes.
Dry. It's 24 dry centimeters. I put it to you.
I put it to you.
But Abu, you know, say he bless it be dry. Hey,
that one is a 25.
24.
No, that one is a 25. That's why you is good. My body is heat. Sammy, you are bad.
Oh my goodness. Week says, Charlie, you guys are tearing my head off. I laugh. Enter garage. And Mr. George, I see from Labadi Beach Hotel says, Charlie, never a dull moment on the Weekend City Show. Greetings to your competent Jato. How are you? Great to hear from you as well. All right, so quickly, before we proceed.
Natanato said, I need him. I need him very, very well.
You need him how?
Yeah, he's supposed to report.
It's a backstage matter.
We know that everything is under control. Like as I said, things make everything is fantastic. You know that my people, TT brothers, they too the same, which is out of Lions. Them too the same. They don't joke with the COVID-19. Always, Randy make sure that they are going to test them players before they play match. Every week, my own club, Accra Great Olympics, we also will not joke with the COVID-19.
Yeah.
Because anytime at all the players have to play the ball, they check them, everybody, before they will come to the pitch. So I hope that somehow that they make everything fantastic, that they draw, then they win one. Still, we are in the leading chart or the leading team in the chart. No, Sammy, the week is fantastic for everything.
Nice.
Blaji, you know that them all is fantastic people. But your man, the cameraman for
Which of them?
Ofe,
Yes.
he said I admired you.
Eh.
Where?
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
But RFA, I mean, he said he want to see you.
No problem.
He said want to see
we'll
you.
go to Brown Raffle.
But I mean, people want to see you.
We'll go there. I mean, I'm very available. We'll go and check the weather there.
Really?
Yeah.
Joe FM, 99.7. No, I mean, as usual, I know, as the weekend is going, you know, everything is fantastic. They, the man, lover things where they are doing for, how do you call it?
Why? You don't believe in love, eh?
This thing, how do you call it?
The Valentine Day.
The Valentine. Now they say it's not the Valentine Day again. They call it
chocolate day.
Chocolate day.
Yeah.
And when you read that day, I never say Annalisa to come and give you chocolate.
Oh,
Mother Annalisa. Come and give us the jollof. We did the jollof, Annalisa. And everything.
You know.
Anna will greet you. See, you are the doctor of the COVID-19 front for workers.
Annalisa, your children are greeting you. Let me give out the question of the week, okay?
Yeah.
On the Weekend City Show.
Yeah.
Listeners, please, which type of goat did you buy for your lover on Valentine's Day? Did you buy your lover Sokoto Godali? Or did you buy your lover African White Dwarf? Or Nungwa Blackhead? Or Sokoto Red? Hey, please let us know via WhatsApp and we'll open up the phone lines. You can tell us what you bought, which type of.
Not today they buy goat.
Oh.
You don't know how people chop love.
Hey.
The love today for goat, mother.
Hey, now
if you go and buy an African white dwarf goat and you dress it in red.
Oh, this man.
But Sammy, you know that only Ghana alone will do the Valentine like Christmas.
It's okay. Ruben.
Yes, I'm forcing.
Why you mentioning my name like that?
Oh, you know, sometimes forcing, you know that.
No, but some more than know that he says B.
Yeah.
He knows it.
But sometimes if he's forcing to knock, you know, is that Poppy.
But by this time, the baby is listening to the program.
I will know.
Massa Awudu from Accra.
Yeah.
Says, please tell Langby it's not chocolate. Please.
Hey!
Chocolate, there's no R inside. I beg.
But I say chocolate.
No, you say chocolate.
Oh, okay. Sammy, you two are part
you
of
say
the
chocolate.
Chocolate, man.
Ruby, didn't you hear chocolate?
I hear chocolate.
Ruby, what do you say?
I mean, I say chocolate. I did put alpha inside.
I put us.
Chocolate rice.
Yeah.
Yo.
Chocolate rice.
Hey, you repeat everything I say. You don't know whether I'm speaking correctly or wrong.
It's no rice.
But the chocolate what?
Rice.
Eh? Is it?
Ruby, how was your week?
City, we know that everybody is going protocol from COVID-19, and people come to our day. We're still talking to them that let's obey the COVID-19 from this how the week is going. But some of the great thing, my special lady from UK, Madam Katrina, and I tell you before that all the family have moved from Spain to UK. So you know UK too, they are locked down. So you know UK, the US. They mentioned to me, but I forget it. That's the truth. I forget the area, you know. But
was it Manchester? Was it Central?
Saying you are giving
oh, Maryland.
Yeah, fast. It's a Maryland.
Please, Maryland is in America. It's not.
No, he's
in
talking about
UK.
America. Oh.
No, he said they have moved from Spain to UK.
And that's what he said.
I've not said that. Did you hear? No, why you asking me?
The people in Spain,
Yeah.
They have moved to UK.
Yeah.
Is that correct?
It's correct.
So why are you saying you didn't say that?
But some
No, it's not like that. No, no.
Somebody, the person is talking about America.
I'm talking about the UK. Yeah.
But why you are speaking about UK? Then I said,
Birmingham.
What?
Birmingham.
Birmingham.
Bethlehem.
Birmingham.
Birmingham. Yeah.
But you know Maryland.
Yeah.
They say yes, it's there.
But you know,
because you know Ruben is always
no.
Ruben is always confused.
No, it's not like confused. You know, I know that it's a Birmingham, but it sounds with Birmingham. That's why.
It's not Birmingham. Birmingham.
If I don't apologize, no allow me, let me blow.
Thank you, my Lord. Thank you, my Lord.
I'll put it to you.
Come on.
You know, everybody who go to their work. You have some people that are still in their home. They get down and say watching from Weekend City Show. I'm proud of that. It's not easy. As the late lockdown, people are getting their time to watching. All the Aguna districts, which is always they are giving me the information is that anything we are doing there, they are following this program. They are spending their data to watch them. And me too, I love them. And this 2020, 2021, I tell them the time we start this, and them they let me know is that every week we are they spend their time for me.
Okay.
And me too, I'm a woman being, you know, if it's somebody.
I will tell you that you are good.
Oh, you know, let me say something. No, I'm not a, you know, like
the goat is.
You are saying we get case.
No.
So that people they are spending their time, they let me know
that you are a human being.
Oh. No. You are Langable.
The man from Birmingham has apologized.
Weather forecast.
No, I said that I'm giving the weather forecast.
You know that we have 27 minutes left.
Yeah.
And we haven't started the show.
Oh, the thing we do is not the show.
All this is warming up.
Fast.
So I should fast to go on. Okay, I know, you know, I see.
In a nutshell.
In nutshell, this week, under 20 let me be proud and bring back the love now. See, say he's coming. See, the way I see that the boy is playing, Mr. Kett is doing well from Ghana Football Association. So now you are champion. Sammy, that's my week.
Oh, okay. Thank you for the word so sweet.
Now you say social distance too, Sammy.
Okay. All right. Anyway, so many messages coming in. This one here says, "Oh, how was your week alone? You want to tell us your life story?" Okay, it says, "Good morning. This is CK Ashon. I'm enjoying your show this morning, pa. This guy on your show is just too much, but can you play the music you played earlier?" Okay, you mean our sick tune? Okay, you will hear it at the end of the show as well. It's music by Lord Kitchener. It's called My Pussin. West African dwarf goat is my type of goat. Hey, we a guy.
You say what?
He said West African dwarf goat is his type of goat.
Oh, are they insulting the people or
no?
No.
You know, West African dwarf.
Yeah.
It's a type of goat.
If you chop her, you can't see.
Have you chopped some before?
No, but you know that we have goats and we have goats.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Hey.
You see?
Sule
marriage always is flat.
Always is fast.
You are distracting the program. Go.
Okay.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you understand that kind of goat?
Can you explain that goat for me?
No, but haven't you heard that they say, "Oh, Charlie, hey, Ronaldo, yeah, he's a goat."
It's a goat.
Oh, yes. How you do his things like a sailboat. You know, some people can tell that you
a sailboat too is a goat.
Oh, somebody will tell that.
A sailboat too is a goat.
Yeah, it's a goat.
Boat.
Usain Bolt.
Yeah. Because Ruben, you know, somebody at the market can see, Ruben there. Ruben is our goods.
Yeah.
Do you accept?
Oh, it depends.
Because how can you say that? Charlie, something you are good.
No, see. I've been doing this work for 20 years. Say thank you.
The goat way with the chop.
No,
You know,
goat.
that's why
All goat is goat.
yes, that's why I want to explain.
Explain.
And,
So
you know,
you want to explain the kind of goat that you are.
with you like you are doing something more, or you are performing more. So you use something to describe you. So if you say that to me, I'll say thank you.
When the person describe you as a goat,
football, so many like the whole world.
He's doing well.
He's doing well.
Yeah.
So how we doing well? No, it's come to money he gets. It's come to attitude, everything he gets.
So he's a goat.
Somebody tell you that he's a goat. Why you say he's a goat?
Ruby.
But okay, so let me cut the chase. Okay.
Yeah.
The goat no.
Which chain you were talking about? Double machine chain. Yeah.
It's not a punchy pombe, no.
Yeah, that's why I'm let the minds know.
No. It actually goat. In this case, goat stands for greatest of all time.
Yes. If it's somebody like Sammy Forsen,
greater or less than.
Let me say something. As some people is coming to my shop, if you mention Weekend City Show and mention Sammy Forsen, so I will say that some. I should go and tell
your wife.
I don't have wife.
Go and tell your wife that wife. This week play with you.
Yeah, no.
Out of order.
Out of order.
Okay, let's get to
Sammy, goat. Which the goat is describing?
Which kind of goat? The goat you are talking about?
Yeah, which kind of goat?
So you like this, Ruben?
Yeah.
You are phone selling goods.
Yeah.
It's
No,
okay. Let's move to serious issues. Okay.
We are in
No. Let's move to serious issues.
We are serious.
I mean, I'm sure you know everybody at Jamestown.
Yeah.
No,
but I mean, like because of the farming and all that, the fish farming and all that. You know, the fishing.
No, I'm not part of them.
Eh?
I'm not inside them.
Wagon.
That's it.
Okay.
But I know.
Okay.
So far as I go do program.
Yeah.
With them. Yeah, I know
okay.
them.
Okay. What is fish farming?
The fish farming. You know that before.
Which you know that.
Wait.
Ruby,
answer speaking.
I'll come to you.
The fish farm.
Wait. Let me start with Lankalo.
You know that before.
Please get closer to the mic.
Before.
Yes.
We don't have fish farming. before, we don't have fish farming.
Why do you say before? Why do you use one word twice? Before.
Yes, because
42 times. Which you are talking.
Ruby, you know that immediately the how do you call it come? Fry Lieutenant John J. Rollins come, and he made sure that fish farming standing.
I'm not vetting you. I'm just asking you.
Oh, okay.
What is fish farming?
Oh, fish farming is something like you have to make fish pond.
You are giving the fish farming
fish fingers, small ones.
Fingerlings.
Yeah, fingerlings. Thank you. Then you put them for that fish that pond. Then you cover them. You just make sure that every time you be there to monitor the fingerlings. Whether you give them.
Okay. So what did you discover? What is fish farming?
Oh, I discovered fish farming is a process of fish farming to fish pond. You know, for farming to gather your fish to advertise. Advertise your fish. You say, what is fish farming?
But you know, then you ask
I will throw the bell at you.
No, if you mention the word for me, let me know that.
Fish farming processes.
Okay, so
sure.
So let me make it simple for you. Okay. An expert at fish farming has defined what fish farming is. So let's all have a listen.
In the reservoirs and the fish ponds, etc. Thank you.
So polytank reservoir.
Sammy, sometimes I don't know the reason why when somebody says something, people take it. How do you call it?
Nobody has taken.
Say right now, no. The only thing it made mistake in that record, the video, the thing where you play right now. Sammy, the place where it made mistake that we don't they say leave the man. Sammy, that is the only thing he don't is supposed to remove from. But everything when he said fish pond and everything is fantastic. You say what?
River, go your phone. Say River Bra.
You never mentioned River Pra.
River Bra. Let me play the video.
It's a reservoir.
Reservoir.
That's what I'm saying. That the reservoir, no. Reservoir.
No, he said River Pra.
Ruby said River Pra. But Ruby, we don't make fish farm in River Pra. But that thing reservoir and fish pond. But he's supposed to say fish pond, simple. That's what he's supposed to say.
I said he says fish pond.
It's okay. We'll open up the phone lines for the question of the day.
Okay.
Thinking of the safest, hassle-free, and most secured way of relocating or transporting your goods, then you need to think of logistic movers. They are here for you with a professional and cost-effective way of moving your office and household items. Okay, within and outside Accra or wherever on the planet. Okay, and if you want to get in touch with Logistic Movers, you can call them on 050-127-7363. That's 050-127-7363 or 030-291-8349. That's 030-291-8349. LogisticMovers.com. Logistic Movers. We help you relocate. And you know, as always, that MTN wants you to experience the safest and most secure way with regards to you visit a Momo agent to perform a transaction. And please note that this is to help you keep receiving cash and just handling your transactions in a safe and secure way. Remember, that's why we go together. Just Momo it everywhere you go. And you want to get your DSTV decoder period, and DSTV will give you all the entertainment you and your family need. Fasten your seatbelts as DSTV takes you higher with more epic live soccer and exciting local drama and the best of kids show as well. All you have to do is, starting from now to the 31st of March, upgrade your current DSTV package to the next one. Extra cost, it's that simple. For example, if you have the access package, pay for family and DSTV will give you compact at no extra cost. And to add to that, we're giving our subscribers 50% discount off Showmax. Our videos are based on 0540. That's 0302 740 540. Okay, listeners, you can actually call us now on 0302. Which kind of goat did you give your Valentine this Valentine's Day? All right, did you give your Valentine the Sokoto Godali or the African white dwarf or the Nungwa blackhead or the Sokoto red? Whichever you choose, tell us. Okay, let me get to messages. This one here is from Chagor in Eburi. Says, greetings to my wife, Irene Ado. Please ask Ruben. Yeah, what's the title of the book?
Oh, it's a fish pond farming book.
Okay, all right. Sami from Kwashiman says, Sami, I'm also Sami, and my son is called Ruben. Tell Ruben that he has made my son laugh.
Somebody wrote that I say fingerlings. But the person said that.
No, you said fingers.
Huh?
You said fingers.
You see, too, the message the person wrote is different than what you are saying.
But I mean, what is Zambi? Abu, the phone line is active. So 0302216541. Good morning, Zambi. Don't allow my honorable members to send us into fish ponds. So I love enter reservoirs. That's from Inshira Henry. Hey, they're giving us so to think, stick to pond and reservoir. He said
what you say is true.
No, that what is
What you say is true.
He said fish farming
It's part of the aquaculture.
Is a subsector of aquaculture. Does Ruben know aquaculture?
Oh, aquaculture. We are discovering fish.
Okay, we have a caller.
What's our aquaculture?
I've lost that caller.
Aquaculture with.
Okay, you, it's okay.
Okay.
Let me read. Growing water living edible organisms in a fixed setting. Ruben.
Yeah, it's a fixed setting. So you are fixing the fish.
It's not the. It's not the
fish.
fish. It's not the fish one he did for the seaside.
Fixing the fish.
Fishing the fish. Thank you. God bless you.
It's not fishing the fish. What is the aquaculture is mean?
It's fishing your phones.
Echo says, "Hey, I can't stop laughing. Was that fish farming or reservoir farming? I don't even know." This one says, "Hey, Langabel, did you say finger lips?" Court justice to have you all cross-examined.
We are begging him.
Andrew, we put it to you.
Yes.
That the judge will laugh. The goat. Then he sent an emoji of a goat. Okay, thank you. Ask Ruben if he knows where I can find the School of Professional Studies in Lotto Business.
Oh man, I didn't stamp Lotto. Oh no. I didn't get the counterpart from Lotto.
Okay, this one here says, "Hey, good morning, Sammy. Hey, Ruben, don't kill me for you. Your show is super fantastic." That's from Lord Elkin Poe in Suhum. Okay. The phone number is 0302-216-541. That's 0302-216-541. Jomobi in Odoko says, "I bought the Sokoto Gudali." Send us a picture. I want to see. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Sambi.
Yes, sir.
How are you?
We are doing well. We are doing fish farming, so we are fine.
Are you doing reservoir or?
We are doing aquaculture.
Ruby, your show is nice, but Ruben should always wait for his turn. He should always wait for his turn before he talks. And then also, today he made me to laugh and even entered somebody's room.
Thank you, my brother. That you said that Ruben supposed to wait. You have to wait before come inside.
Not the ladies' room anyway.
What did you buy for Valentine's Day?
Oh, I think it is. I don't know whether it's some big goat or Ruben goat.
My brother, thank you for calling. Okay. Hello, good morning.
Morning, family.
Yes, who do I have on the line?
You have Yaro calling from Nkoko.
Yaro. Charlie. Oh.
Ruby Adakwa, Charlie. Reward.
You boss will never me. You will boss pass me.
This one there, to be honest, I love enter somebody what kitchen with
Yaro, which goat did you buy for Valentine's Day?
Actually, the moment I'm a Muslim, I prefer buying the hot with Gudali from what Sokoto.
Sokoto Gudali.
The moment we have cows, Gudali, and we have for sheep. Actually, keep on doing the video for Mother Ghana.
All right, Charlie, thanks for calling. All right, we don't have time, so we'll greet now. Greet.
Okay, let me greet Inspector Te and Honorable your man, Isiamba.
Hey.
Yeah,
the humble man. The former minister.
Honorable Alakpelen. Akurugu Alakpelen, madam. Wangabu, may God bless you. All who listen to the music and everywhere, may God bless everybody.
So let me greet my boy, Young Fella City boys, and let me greet all the Agunabu boys and the Shodo boys, including my boy Josiah, which is at 6 years.
Happy birthday going out to Adobia, Adia Pena, or Seb Watson. Please.
Okay.
Happy 6th birthday to Adobia Adepa Oseb Watson of Fountainhead School in Sakomono. May the birthday fairy grant you 6 wonderful wishes on this momentous day. God bless your age. From your dad and mom, S of Nestle Limited. May God surround you with his favor and bless you and grant you all your wishes. With love from your dear wife and children, to you, Mr. Tete Ai of Nestle. Happy birthday to you.
And Mr. Abu Etel. Mr. Abu Etel.
Thank you to the entire team, Abu, as well as our correspondent in Wa. Yes, thank you for the delicious news. And also thank you to Sule and everyone that made the show possible. I'm Sam B. I'll catch you same time next week. Coming up is News File.
I thought I saw my pussycat crossing Charlotte Street. I couldn't swear whether it was the right pussy I meet. But just as I was making sure, up came a young lady. She said, "Is my pussy, is my pussy." I feed her, mind her, raise her from small. Man, take off your hand from she, don't touch me pussy at all.
And as you know, as always, here on News File, we put Ghana first. The ministerial vetting. What are the letdowns and is that exercise really necessary? And Ghana is faced with another $55 million is likely as a Chinese company takes Ghana to the International Court of Arbitration. Question: who do we hold for these judgment debts? We set up a committee that brought out a report suggesting we will see the end of it. So why are we here now? Promised that the way to end judgment debt was to vote out John Mahama. We will also be looking at very important petition hearing. John Mahama so far has lost 7 applications, or if you like, some things that they sought to have and were denied. One particular issue, compelling Jean Mensah to testify. We'll be right back to deal with the vexed matters.
Son problem. Common light bulb self. This no matter. I beg go Robert and Sons. Oh yeah. Then my chick to him, I know correct. Cry. Where Robert and Sons sort them out sharp. Now so stylish frames in the wrong. We go Robert and Sons right in. No, I was sitting inside proper.
For over 25 years, Robert & Sons continues to provide special in East Legon. Call 050-151-9111. Robert & Sons, seeing is believing.
Provident Insurance. Provident Insurance welcomes you to a new year. Remember to insure your new car or renew your existing motor insurance. Then souvenirs. Rush for insurance cover now. Terms and conditions apply. With Provident, man, you are covered.
My name is John Addo, managing the loss of precious lives. With the infection rate continuing to rise, our risk of getting infected rises too, if we do not observe the basic safety measures as advertised by the government and the Ghana Medical Association. Coronavirus is real, and it is claiming the lives of both the young and old. Fellow Ghanaians, here is my appeal to you. If you feel unwell, search a health facility. Together, we can fight this virus. Join the Ghana Association of Bankers campaign to halt the spread of COVID-19 now. Our campaign starts with you.
Chocolate drink, Avantino, Bione, creamy man, and Dairy Cream, so on the Diania yet dead. Napa, the soup.
vegetable oil. It's best for your kinky or your banku and pepper.
You send up a mackerel for your soup, for your stew, and your love.
Na spaghetti need the Italia, baby.
Hey, Napa, I had the soup. Heaven, oh, heaven, heaven, yeah, heaven, mosquito, well, repels mosquitoes, less smoke, you know they play. Used to have an insecticide spray, no, now, malaria, so better, and don't come let a friend one man. Heaven, oh, heaven, heaven, yeah, heaven, oh, heaven, heaven, yeah,
Do not sleep in a room with a burning coil. Leave room for 15 minutes after spray and allow for adequate ventilation.
This advertisement has been vetted and approved by the FDA.
14 Sakumono, which is with finishing. Our homes comes with air conditioners, fans, recessed lights in both living and dining area, state-of-the-art fitted kitchen. Visit Whaley Properties this Christmas period for an amazing end-of-year goodies such as gift vouchers, attractive discounts on each property you choose. Contact our website at www.whaley.org. Whaley. Home is where one starts.
Syndicated Capital introduces the Silent Night range of luxury mattresses and pillows, and for the pregnancy, as well as amazing back support feeding your baby. No more sleepless nights and no more hustle with breastfeeding. Check out the Super Pillow Top Orthopedic Mattress, made with 12 inches of memory foam cushions. Available are high-quality bird sheets, reversible quills, a large collection of orthopedic pillows and luxurious towels at unbelievable prices. Silent Night products are available at all Melcom shops, game stores, and Silent Night showrooms at Tema, Asylum Down, Adenta, Spintex Road, and Kumasi 050-131-5776. Silent Night. Sleep like never before.
So many styles to choose, but there's only one sure way to pay.
Momo?
Yes. There's so many you can buy, but there's only one sure way to pay.
Momo?
Yes. There's so much variety, but there's only one sure way to pay. There's so many ways to get together, but there's only one sure way to pay.
Hey, yes, Momo.
Got a payment to make? Use Momo. Just Momo it. We day for you, everywhere you go.
News analysis platform, and here on Newsfile we put Ghana first, and it's brought to you by Bank of Africa, as strong as a group and close as a partner. MTN, everywhere you go. Ashasi University, educating ethical and entrepreneurial leaders for Africa. On insects and upper foods is tasty. DBS Industries and Robert and Sons Limited obstacle to my take, which I now call Anyenini legal light. Ghana law prohibits homosexuality? That's my question. I am back to this subject. It is the Catholic Bishops' Conference has issued a statement giving education why it must not be tolerated and seeking to know the president's stance. And this is not the first time the minister designate for gender and social protection fell into the often repeated error when many, including political leaders, have always referred to the same section 104(1)(b) of the Criminal Offences Act to make the inaccurate assertion. The provision of that law borrowed in who has unnatural carnal knowledge of another person of not less than 16 years of age, with the consent of that other person, commits a misdemeanor, unquote. Get this. What it criminalizes is unnatural carnal knowledge. What then is from the same people? Unnatural carnal knowledge at common law means penal penetration of anything other than the vagina. Consequently, this is a woman's vagina for sex. If a man engaged in a sexual act with another man, he will be guilty and may suffer the maximum penalty of a jail term for sodomizing a 16-year-old boy. If a woman engaged in a sexual act with another woman, call it lesbianism or whatever, she will not be guilty of, or a woman caught by this law where there is no penal penetration. What acts are homosexuals or LGBTQI people engaged in? I leave that to what you know or can imagine. It appears the law criminalized LGBTQI. We better start thinking what to do, and fast. That's your legal light. Let me welcome my guests, and then we are looking at ministerial vettings, and we are looking at the election petition so far. My guests, joining us by Zoom, Dr. Ernest Kofi Abu. Joining us by Zoom will be Kofi Bento, lawyer and Senior Vice President, Imani Africa. Here in the studio, right now, Democratic Congress, NDC, is a former MP and a former minister. Also, Dr. Poko Dusay, member, New Patriotic Party, NPP, legal. Great. So we are beginning with the vetting that has happened so far, and quite a number of people have been rejected, or whether there will be anything that will be demanded of anybody. Let's show you just one bit, so just a little bit really necessary. That's the most important question.
Media Foundation for West Africa, is that the name? Based its report on wrongful analysis of whatever information that they have. Communication is I receive from any entity to the regulator to respond to, and I believe the regulator did so.
You mean that it is NCA that wrote to you telling you that Media Foundation for West Africa had based the analysis on wrong information, or your office did?
Entity without valid authorization ought to be sanctioned in accordance with the law. And the Media Foundation for West Africa claims that that is an infringement on the right of the regulator or the directives of the minister. And they also need to get their facts aligned with the situation on the ground. Every action that the NCA took was in accordance upon the rights of any entity in this country. If that's the conclusion they arrived at, they were wrong.
The government of Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo had created approximately 1 million jobs. And 2020, the last time we reported on was in September 2020, and then the figure was around 3 million jobs. 3 million jobs.
That's sector by sector.
I will make the details available to the committee when I get back to you. But I think that I have, on a number of occasions, even come to this house and have given these figures out already. But if still it is the pleasure of the committee to have the details. Our combination of the two. Combination of all.
The nominee said in September the government has created 3 million jobs. On 13th August, that was what the Vice President said, that the government has created 2 million jobs. And you're also saying that in September, you have created 3 million jobs. Is it that?
Well, I don't know, and I'm not aware of what you're talking of, but I have officially turned out the 3 billion jobs. And I will be
deep respect for our chieftaincy institution, for that matter, our traditional rulers, and I've intimated here the role they have in ensuring that the work His Excellency assigned to us in this regional reorganization, which is a very delicate assignment. We could succeed in doing that because of how the chiefs throughout the country supported us and rely on their wisdom and direction. But having misunderstanding or it has no basis at all. The process of creating new regions is enshrined in the Constitution. And on a different question, I made reference to Chapter 2 of the creating a new region on when you are merging two regions.
Ghana pays the lowest rate in the whole world. Ghana, we pay the lowest rate in the whole world. So if you want to go and say rate in what? Yes, toll rate. The research that has been done in my ministry on the average toll rate is around $1. And Ghana, $1 is close to 6 cities. And if I am giving the approval, it's one of the things I'm going to do immediately. I will have to go to cabinet first, proposal of increasing the toll rate, and it will come to this honorable house. And I believe all of you.
So those are just a few of those who appeared before the committee. You know several others who appeared before the committee. So starting with you, Kofi Bento, what would you say about the process itself, those MPs who formed the committee and their performance, whether they are doing the right thing, they are doing specific ones, you want to also comment about, that will be fine. But let me begin by sharing this small piece of Going to the Town, the writings of P.A.V. He has a title, The Shameful, Shoddy, Shabby Charade, Misnomered Vetting. And he took issue with a very poor vetting process that went on with the intention of letting someone off by perhaps not inquiring into issues that vetting committee, appointment committee, as chaired by Ibn Chambers then. Yes, Kofi Bento, let's hear you. Hello, Kofi Bento. Please unmute.
Hello, Samson, do you hear me?
I can.
Right. The process is fine. And as you can tell, we've been using this process since the Fourth Republic started. Now, the content, what goes on, at every point there is, one way or something that, somebody wants to complain about. The only thing I find needful, something that we need to do regarding the process, is to make sure that I feel very strongly about it. It is possible that before the vetting comes, there's a schedule. We know who is coming. Members on the committee should staff and do it. And at least each person should send maybe 4 or so questions. Okay, it doesn't mean you have to ask all of them, but at least the main questions you want to ask, if you want some information about something that happened in the past, and a few things, whether the person was already in office or not, we should send, especially people who were in office and are being returned to office. So I think we should seriously look at that. It is giving them room to say, I'm not aware, to say, let me go and. So we should make sure we do that. The only other thing that I want to say is that there were times they got almost angry. There were times they were throwing answers back. to the members, on the panel.
Example?
It must be clear
Example?
for everyone to understand that.
Example?
I would rather not give examples because it will mean mentioning names, and I don't want to go there because we'll get into the weeds.
Then we should do that. We should do that.
The time they felt, yes, there were times some of them felt as if, or they sounded as if, they were being harassed, as if, who are you to ask me that question? And they gave all kinds of answers, which, if you consider things in terms of the philosophy of this whole thing, those people questioning them are questioning them on behalf of citizens.
The questioner is ignorant. The questioner is showing ignorance, and you need to put them right. And yet, they may be wrong and strong. So you, the one to answer the questioning, what is wrong with, letting them know that they are wrong and they ought not be strong?
Or even correcting the question. I remember when, as a lecturer, somebody brought me questions from another lecturer trying to get me to help. And the question was wrong. So I are wrong. The whole thing is the attitude. I think that people come to this thing and they are looking at the person asking the question. They should look at the citizens behind. It's similar to being interviewed by a journalist. Whenever you are interviewed by a journalist, you're actually speaking to the nation. So I think whether the parliamentarians reject some people or not. And I think that if some of these things happen, people will sit up and come to appreciate the process better. But the more important thing is that...
Are you saying expectation that some of the nominees will be rejected?
I have a hope that some of the nominees who do not... I mean, if you are there to just approve, there's no... for the job. For whatever reason, I think it is your duty to signal that to the person who is appointing. So I do have a hope that some people will be returned, and it's happened.
You'll be disappointed if the committee did not disapprove of them.
There are people I have not been very impressed with. There are people I have not been very impressed with, and there are people I have been impressed with. And there are many situations where I feel the persons must be made to come back to answer certain questions.
To a most important part, that may be your final comment here before we get other people.
Most important part is this. Qualification per se is not an issue. And I've already said that if they find the people unqualified, they should reject them. But qualification is not an issue because the system should be about that. To that extent, therefore, this issue about English language. Look, mastery of any language is a measure of intelligence. But that is not the only measure of intelligence. What has to be picked up is that apart from the fact that the person has a problem with a language, because if you can't express yourself in English, and that is our official language, if you cannot make sense. Now, what we should look for is whether there are other signals showing that thing. If it suggests that you are not on top of the job or you don't know the brief very well, is there any other thing that you are showing did not have? It is the fact that they did not understand the substance very well. I think it is for Parliament to send those people and for the President to insist that he wants them to get into office. Too many times we have too many people in high office who do nothing, and some of them actually work against our progress. That is the point to rectify that situation. There were situations like in the case of Kojo Oponkruma, who I thought did very well. But again, yes, there were questions that may not have been answered well. As to disgrace people or rubbish people, that process is very useful, especially for those who have already been in office. It is one unique chance for them to give record.
Right.
Most important thing is we should amend it and send the questions to them ahead so they cannot dodge the questions.
Let's get some other views on what you are trying to say, but thanks to people trying to measure the competence of people by how fluent they are in English or articulate. The case of Hawa Kumsin, for the mockery, the ridicule. What do you think about how she's being ridiculed and mocked in town? Now, your standing orders, Order 47, says the proceedings of Parliament shall ordinarily be to address the House in either Akan, Nzema, Ga, Ewe, Hausa, Dagbani, Dagari, or in any other local language, analyze this and applied it to nominees who are appearing before you, how Akumsing could have expressed herself far better than what happened?
Thank you, Samson, and let me say good morning to you, Dr. Eduse and your US. He was the provision you've read in the standing orders clearly is for a forward-looking provision. I mean, anybody who has taken a trip to the European Parliament will see exactly what the provision for limiting you to expressing yourself on the floor of the House. And so the provision looks to make room for people who can speak and to provide facilities for the purposes of achieving that objective. And so clearly it's a forward-looking provision. We've not gotten there yet. I mean, there have not been attempts to operationalize this. And that is the challenge.
You see one harm. When she was being asked questions, something that she has said and didn't mean it that way in the media had been used against her and the government for a very long time. She has a problem with the English language, and that is not what she meant. But for that opportunity, that issue would have been stuck against her. So why are we still here when your standing order says that people should be able to express themselves in the language that they are comfortable with, and yet they come and you yourselves, even among your members,
to do, and what we should call it on the state to do, is to provide facilities that will enable people to be able to express themselves in languages that they are comfortable with, so that their speeches, their comments, and their debates can be interpreted simultaneously. I mean, anytime you are in the European Parliament, I mean, I was for a long time a member of the EU ACP Joint Parliamentary Assembly, and anytime you started speaking, you will see for that they were announced. And because of the unique nature of Europe, in countries, except probably Britain, even in Britain, you find people who can speak English and French fluently. And because of the nature of the evolution of the country. And so sometimes when they are unable to provide German or Dutch, or I mean, some aspects of it, but because of national issues, they really always prefer that their languages be part of those that are available for interpretation. Proficiency in English is not an issue, but qualification is an issue, and it's stated in Article 78. And it reads, ministers of state shall be appointed by the president with the prior approval of parliament for among members of parliament. So qualification is an issue.
But the qualification is clear. So qualification is qualification to be member of parliament.
Scipio Gabriel, when he appeared before, he could speak English. His proficiency in English was above board. He was good. He explained himself, but he failed to meet the qualification criteria because he was not a registered voter. He was a citizen of Ghana, but he was here on her English. But she was not a registered voter. Now, so qualification is an issue. You must be qualified to be a member of parliament. Probably that explains why in the 1960s, cabinet ministers of state were from parliament. And so they would have been qualified to be members of parliament. That qualification was there. They should be members of parliament.
But before you backtrack, once you put an emphasis on qualification, and the qualification is limited to being qualified to be a member of parliament, the next question is, what does, member of parliament? And does it include being fluent in English or whatever it is?
That is why I said, Samson, proficiency in Article 94 to be appointed as a minister.
Right.
And Article 94 has 5 provisions. 5 provisions.
Okay.
Any person, all the requirements in Article 94.
Yes, so 1, you must be Ghanaian.
You must be Ghanaian.
You must be 21 years and above.
You must be a registered voter.
Good.
You must pay all your taxes or declared bankrupt.
Correct.
Or of unsound mind. Or detained as a criminal lunatic under any of the laws of Ghana.
You must not have been convicted.
Convicted of high crime under the Constitution for any other offense punishable by for an offense involving or connected with elections in Ghana, or found by a committee, a committee report less than 10 years. You understand? So there are many.
So these are the things you are looking for.
So first of all, the members of the committee exercising their oversight jurisdiction over the executive have various criteria, qualification criteria in the Constitution.
Following the process so far, do you find that the committee members have a mind fixed?
We have a mind fixed on it. I can't speak for them, but I know that, and most of them have been on the committee for a very long time. And just recently, I was with them at Adan, and I drew their attention to the oversight responsibility of the
vetting people who are already MPs. What should they then do? Because the qualification is limited.
So then you come to the other leg. And these are part of the jurisprudential or doctrinal principles enunciated by J.S. Mill and Montesquieu. To vet those people, you know, as a matter of governance, executive is responsible for policy and programs, implementation of policies and programs. To be able to implement those policies of the budget is from the taxes of the people. And it is Parliament that keeps the purse. So Parliament has a duty to satisfy itself that the person who is appearing, apart from satisfying the minimum conditions, is trustworthy, is competent in the utilization of the public purse, in the implementation of those policies.
What have you observed from what is going on now that you feel requires some tweaking, some change? And what are your expectations?
I have my doubt whether they will be rejected. I have my doubt.
Not a single person?
Not a single person. Because all I hear is people talking about you must not take it away from the president that he had a minimum assessment of the capacity of his nominees to deliver on his policy. And that's why he nominated them in the first place. And so you must credit the president with the push through his programs and policies. Now, the Parliament then has the responsibility to ensure that they throw light on what they believe is the inadequacies of the... If he fails to meet the legal requirement in the Constitution, then Parliament will vote to reject on the basis of the fact that he fails to meet the minimum requirement in the Constitution.
The committee cannot reject.
The committee can reject, can recommend the withdrawal of that person in the case fate of a nominee on 3 levels by consensus. All the members, 26 members of the committee agree that that minister nominee not agree. No, unanimous. All of them agree. Consensus. Some do not agree. But they reach a consensus that they must let that person go.
And the last one is?
The last one is by voting. We call it by division. Some say, no, we will not approve on the basis of reports. Then the committee report will not come before the House for debate. And then a vote. Immediately, at the committee level, there's a division. There's voting. On the floor of the House, they will be voted. You remember Mohamed Mumuni?
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much for that education. Committee and how it is going about its work. There are those who say the work appears to have been left to the minority and the majority members are not needed.
Well, good morning, and good morning to my honorable colleagues. Listen to their submissions, and in trying to summarize it, I would say that it falls within the provinces of what I call formal qualifications and then meet. And then when you set out what the Constitution says, those are the essential ones. But we seem to dwell so much on the formal aspects. That is the reason why we are now pontificating and asking whether some should be rejected. Mastery of the Queen's language is a measure of intelligence.
Okay.
I disagree strongly in that you may need to go through some processes, formal processes, to master the Queen's language. And my mother didn't get the opportunity. But she's one of the most in cognizance of the portfolios the persons are going to hold. You know, the Fisheries Ministry, the subjects and objects of that ministry, and the persons you'll be engaged with.
What is the focus of the Fisheries Ministry?
I'm telling you that it is not about mastery of English language. Not at all. From the coastal areas, yes. Yes. May serve you a better purpose than English language. So let's try to dichotomize between the Queen's language. I know people who are so fluent. The eloquence in the English language is impeccable. But when it comes to performance, they are found wanting. So that is where I want us to charge the job. Should be the overriding consideration in deciding whether it should be passed or not. And you asked whether the majority is just sleeping whilst the minority is doing its work. You don't put someone you are in the same political party in the wrong spot. I mean, it happens. Otherwise, you are undermining your political party decision to put the person across as a candidate.
You may be questioning the president's, you know...
Well, the president can be questioned, because as you say, if you are charting a path, you may not know where your back is crooked. So they may not go all out as the minority may do. And it is natural if they were in government of their task.
In that regard, should the standing orders be changed so that you have only the opposition or the minority in parliament doing this kind of job rather than having the majority members join?
I don't. The reason is simple. If you look at all the committees of parliament, it is composed of sides.
Yeah, we know that. I'm only asking what you think.
And we don't want this to be an exception. We want it to be that both majority, minority.
Well, that question, Honorable Minister of Saying, what do you think about it?
It's always so. It's a fallout of our experiment, our project which is to establish a constitution that's a hybrid between the presidential and the parliamentary systems of government. And you know, even in the review, because the president appoints members of his government, a majority of members of his government from parliament, it robs members of parliament the ability to develop careers in parliament. And also the capacity, yes, and I can tell you, sometimes it beats your imagination that you are scrutinizing government as parliament and a member of parliament, while part of the committee doing that, speak for government. It always happens. And so, yes, I think that, and that is why I have spoken vociferously, that probably we were in haste, Doctor, to create this constitutional architecture that is turning out to be our Achilles heel. Well, our unique contribution to democracy is this hybrid system of government. But then it operates to weaken parliament, the whip system.
Why don't you apply the same reasoning and judgment behind that committee that sees to the Auditor General's report? Public account to chair that committee. And why don't you put that reason, that same reason, allow that reason to dictate for the appointment?
Thank you so very much. Exactly so that the Parliament thought that the standing orders of Parliament needed review, and that some committees of standing orders, the Appointments Committee is chaired by the First Deputy Speaker, who is named in the standing orders. And the First Deputy Speaker, by convention, is a member of the ruling party. So clearly, you will find that government is sitting...
Speaker, you would find that at the Appointments Committee, he doesn't appear to be doing a party job.
Because he's well aware that there will be a public thread if Bampo's post. Since next time she's going for an interview, she'll carry the man along. And that spoke volumes to me. But what I'm just saying is that Honorable Joe Osewusu knows very well that there is a public perception out there. And what he's doing at the committee level is managing that public perception.
Yes, Kofi, let's hear you.
Yes. So I think it's important for us to get this. There must be both parties in parliament when it comes to appointment, because our constitution makes it the prerogative of the president. And I think the majority or the president's party person must chair. Otherwise, we undermine that prerogative. That is one. Number two, I think that the president's members being there can serve to, bring up certain things which may be positive. If we leave it to just the minority or the people against the president, then it will become
doing a job that is not progressive and not constructive. Will we not know, and would they not be afraid when they do that if they also happen to have the opportunity to come to government, they will be paid back?
Yes, so the public will know, but the thing is this: you will defeat the president's mandate. And when the public knows, or the court of public opinion, we will know what we should not make it an antagonistic process. That thing must be emphasized. We are trying to bring out what the people have, which qualifies them. Even if they don't have a mastery of the language, they should be able to prove to us that they have a mastery of the substance.
I'll take a look at what Dr. Pukweduse spoke about the formal qualification, emphasis on formal qualification rather than the essential qualifications. And he brought to such a minister for the fisheries ministry than your English language, which you say competency in that is a measure of folk, or it is to help Ghanaians get fish to eat. The current fisheries industry is dying because we are running out of fish. That is a scientific problem, not a propaganda problem. The president should be hiring people who, and that's from someone who is watching us. Yes, what do you say?
Yes, I was thinking the same thing. I just didn't have the opportunity. Respectfully, Doc is wrong. A minister's position is essential. Implement policy. Very little of that position involves engaging fisher folk. There may be 5% or so. Indeed, if the minister spends her time, even 15% of it, engaging fisher folk, she is wasting executive time. There must be many people within the... People are fishing with sonar, with all kinds of technology which our people don't have. The canoes we are using were the same things being used 10,000 years ago. We need to figure out how to move from there. Today, fishing has to do with international relations, sharing fish stock. People are coming from China to fish here. It is a high-level diplomatic challenge. Fishing has to do with security management, to do with fish management. That is a lot of science.
But there are directors, there are directors and experts within the ministry, are they not?
But that's the point. So the minister must be managing these directors and all those that...
Oh, you want to say you disagree with him? You keep repeating he got it wrong.
But that may not be enough here. Well, the point is this. The qualification is actually not a subject matter qualification. The qualification is about eligibility qualification to be a parliamentarian.
Okay.
When it comes to qualification, the earlier point I was making is that it is entirely the prerogative of the president.
I'll ask you the substantive matters of the constitutional arrangement, including, for example, whether you thought it will not be better for the appointing authority to put up more than one person to be vetted for a particular portfolio, and then have a focus on the fisheries ministry, obviously because of what happened with Howard Kumsin. From where you sit, clearly we shouldn't have a problem proof on the substance,
Well, good morning. In order to understand this, I think it is first of all useful to put everything in context and to ask what is the whole point of the exercise. The vetting exercise, as I understand it from the constitutional standpoint, is to achieve three things. One, to deal with the issue of capacity. Two, to deal with the issue of credibility. Post-appointee has the capacity to deliver the mandate of his office or her office. In respect of eligibility, which I think is probably the most important preliminary issue, is to check whether a person is qualified from the constitutional standpoint and whether there are any elements that bars the person from being appointed to step in public office, among others. So if you put these three things together, it is on that basis I think you can measure whether or not a proposed appointee who has appeared before the committee has been able to discharge himself effectively in terms of the questions that are asked. As regards the question of whether or not substantively she can do what she's been appointed to do, has become important in Ghana, I think, is because invariably English is our official medium of communication. And because English has become an indicia of education, English has become substituted for education itself, which unfortunately English is the medium for carrying out the proficiency of whatever a person professes. Once the person is not able to express himself or herself in English, the person is taken on the face of it to not be as literate as would be expected. But one can still be very effective or very competent without being articulate in the English language. And the question is whether, we look at whether or not the person actually has substantive knowledge. And depending from everything I'm hearing about, is that it appears that even substantively speaking, the proposed appointee was sufficient. That appears to be some of the trolling and the fun people are making about her. So since I didn't actually follow myself, I can't make my own judgment in respect of that. But if she was substantively proficient, then the fact that her English wasn't as coherent and fluent as other people expect, that of itself will not be of any moment. But if
the question I had posed earlier, but deferred, if you have been following also, what do you make of the type of questions that we hear and the posture of those who are asking that he's not expecting an answer because he appears to be rushing them and not waiting for an answer? They attempt to answer, then he begins with another question.
I think that there appears to be a lot of background historical expectations on both sides of the divide. And I'm saying on both sides of the divide in terms of the NDC and the MPP, and also in respect of the appointees, the proposed appointees themselves, and they play. So there are political tensions. There are all kinds of background variables that we may or may not be aware of. And again, this is not peculiar to Ghana. Everywhere in the world, and let's say the mature democracies, appointments represent a good platform sometimes to vent political vendetta and to take things on proposed appointees in terms of it. And when I listen to the whole body language and the posture, not just from the NDC, but actually also from the NPP, you get a sense that sometimes these background contextual dynamics are at play. And unfortunately, it gets played out against proposed appointees, especially where they are not themselves the people who may have behaved in particular ways that may justify that. But, a particular a person doing the vetting may just have had an opportunity or a platform to vent. On the other hand, a proposed appointees behave for a person doing the vetting to then pick it up for the person and ask questions that they think now may have given them the spotlight to not necessarily embarrass, but probably just to, take it out on people who may have presented themselves. So political vetting or vetting and taking things out.
Now, Dr. Abuchi,
I'm not saying that is what happened, but I'm just saying these are things that absolutely.
Now to the suggestion about whether it will serve us better if the appointing authority put up more than one person for consideration for a particular portfolio.
They have further increased the burden on Parliament in terms of how many people they will have to review. That's the first one. From an operational and practical standpoint, I think it does help Parliament to make a better and informed judgment in respect of competing candidates and to make a decision on which candidate should be considered. But a point is concerned, and in this case, the President. If the President appoints more than one person for a particular office, it creates a sense of the President lacking a certain degree of surety as far as that candidate is concerned. And when presidents do make these appointments, one of the things they also want to put out there is not just the fact of having to just select one person, but it also, for example, has been noted for for appointing people and actually justifying reasons for selecting these people.
Well, this time he hasn't done that.
Before the people are even considered by Parliament, he has spoken to the Ghanaian people and told the Ghanaian people that there are justified a sense of, I am just trying my luck and I'm not as sure as I actually would like to project. And that could undermine the whole essence of the appointment.
All right, thank you.
The whole object of the appointment.
Right. Now, Dr. Duce, what do you say in respect of the appointing authority to withdraw that appointment? Because on the face of it, he was ineligible because at the time he was not a registered voter. So clearly there was no point about that. Yes. Like Kofi Bento mentioned, there may be technocrats and what have you at the place, but policy decisions, engagement, policy analysis, analyzing reports, and so on and so forth, must ability to exercise a certain judgment for herself or himself without the input of a technocrat?
You know, here is the case that the designate, the minister designate, is not a new person on the terrain. In fact, she has won a seat that the party in the president trusted her so much that he wanted her to be in charge of his special initiatives, right? And deliver one village, one dam, ambulance given to her in the first 4 years. That should be the starting point. So if the person can provide leadership to the ministry in executing the vision and mission of the president, so be it. And I believe that she's proving to be an action-oriented person, and that is what that ministry needs.
No, from the presidency, it's a whole different game from being handed a ministry to manage.
You know, it also tells us that she is capable, as articulated on paper. She will ask practical questions. So when we do this at this point, what is going to be the result? And I believe that she will be able to see through it and appreciate whatever she's going to do. Okay. So I don't think that will be a handicap at all.
All right.
There are technocrats on the ground who are going to do the paperwork. She will ask the right questions, lead them and manage them.
Comments on this whole thing of the vetting, whether it is useful or it is not useful?
Well, I will say that what amounts to vetting in itself, right? We've been told in judgments and Attorney General that it is not a term of looking at how the meaning of vetting. It's as if you were going to sieve something and then take the wheat out of the chaff. But that is actually not the essence of vetting. So if Parliament, as our representatives, are going to ensure that there is accountability at that level, they can also do the people a lot. These are the things we are going to work on to assess you.
Okay.
So that assessment criteria, if they publish it widely, and then we use it to benchmark people, that would be the best way to go.
Great, but that does not increase
fish farming. Please, I will have to go and revise my JHS notes to be able to answer this kind of question.
If you were nominated for that ministry, will your preparation not include understanding?
Definitely not. To know the meaning of what fish farming is, then be what policy considerations would I have to take to be able to change the fishing regime, the seasons, those kind of things. That's why he said it's science. So that will be the kind of focus. So your focus will be on the top, not on the basics of one together. You'll be able to achieve that result. Okay. I think that's where the focus should be.
Right. Now, Anvunisa, what do you also say? And, you know, people are disappointed in the committee that they have some of their colleagues come before them and they practically don't do anything. They just do 6 solid hours. Kojo Nkrumah had such a long time. What's that? And they seem to, you know, agree with PAV and some that this is shameful, shoddy, shabby charade. It's known as a vetting.
I disagree entirely with the venerable Prof. Designate and the Minister of Information designate. The Minister of Information is a colleague member of Parliament. Was my colleague in the Assembly of Parliament. And he was before his colleagues. But he spent my time there. the Minister for Road.
Pointed that Adwoa
Safo is a member of Parliament.
Yes.
But Adwoa Safo
was treated with kid gloves.
No. She went there as a gender minister designate.
Yeah.
She was, in her previous life, the deputy majority leader. Satisfactory to me. She said, look, even though I was procurement minister, the ministry that has supervisory jurisdiction over the public procurement authority is the ministry.
So in a case, the members simply didn't have questions.
She's simply telling you that I didn't have supervisory jurisdiction over there.
It is not the case that they sat, and sometimes you can sit together and plan it, that as for this, our colleague, for some one reason or the other.
I don't think they planned it, but it's just human nature.
It doesn't happen?
Prof?
Not at all? It doesn't happen at all?
It doesn't
happen at all?
He turned out to be my lecturer.
It doesn't happen at all?
Now he's MPP communicator. Anywhere I meet him, because of his disposition, I will treat him in a certain way. In the vetting process.
There were some of the ministers, the members of the public generally, expected particular questions. Nobody asked anything about those things. Things that has to do with their character, their reputation.
Well, the vetting prior approval is not about 1992 debates, whether private life, or whether your private life should come into your public affairs. So, well, I think that the vetting committee, the appointments committee, has improved significantly over the years. But there is still more room for improvement. But let me state two things, because this is a platform that educates people. It is part of the institutional limitations on the exercise of power by the president under Article 58. Article 58 vests executive authority in the president. But to exercise that authority must be in conformity with the Constitution. So bringing the names of persons he wants to work as minister to ministers. You get it?
Interesting.
So, I mean, the Constitution is replete with such institutional limitations, procedural limitations, and substantive limitations on the exercise of power by the president.
Okay.
Now, you see, Abotu spoke about capacity and subjective criteria for determining distance. You know, I believe that the formal qualifications lend themselves to an objective criteria for assessing whether the person is otherwise qualified. But credibility and capacity, and that is why there is a lot of debate in the social media, that is quite subjective. Because, you see, and I share his view.
Social media, and even traditional media, it's where the appointees are appearing, and that's part of Kofi Bentel's concern. They are appearing, you're asking them questions, they say, I am unaware. I am unaware. When I go, if you approve me and I go, I will check. What's that?
Yes, Minister for Fisheries and Aquaculture.
Or Minister for Justice.
Or Justice.
Can we relax the
Or Minister for Justice. Or Minister for Roads. My brother, you have to spend the next few days before your vetting to know as much as possible your sector.
Yeah.
But you need to understand your frame of mind and how you intend to approach policy at the ministry. Because they're going to give you state resources. You cannot come to the vetting committee and treat them with impunity, give me opportunity to go. And no, it's about resources of states.
And a number of the nominees showed that, not knowing that there had been an amendment, but he was insisting until
Godfrey
showed him
the amendment.
And then he said, I concede.
Godfrey, you can't take it away from him that he was a deputy attorney general. He was very active when he was deputy attorney general. And he has also been a very diligent lawyer. It shows that he prepared. Even with that, he prepared. There were some questions and I don't agree with him, but he prepared before coming.
Okay.
You understand?
Yeah.
So I think that those ministers who are yet to come.
He seemed to share the view that you ought not be suffering that prosecution, which some of you...
I don't want... I'm going there on Monday because I think that in the criminal prosecution, it is the prosecution that proves your guilt. You don't have a responsibility apart from reasonable doubt in their matter. So I'm just going there. But what I'm saying is that those who are yet to come, see,
from what you heard him say,
even I don't want to reveal that on, but I'm saying that I don't have I don't think about anything. I just think about Monday I'm going to court.
Okay.
And whatever happens, that's fine with me. But you see, because
what's the charge you are facing again?
They are conduct conducive to the breach of the peace under Section 207 of the.
All right.
But what I'm saying is that those
he shouldn't be pretending. They think he's pretending to be unaware that you are in court and facing this. What do you say to those people who say that? Do you agree with them? Because he was not in charge of criminal prosecutions.
You see, I do not want Godfrey to prosecute on the basis of fiat. You got Articles 88 is quite clear. There's a presumption that you are aware.
But again, police can go.
You cannot be a rebuttable.
But again, police
cannot be.
Again, something. Yeah. You know, sometimes look at what's happening in my place, Kumau. Villages where police officers are the ones in charge of prosecution. It is because the Law Officers Act, right, draws powers from the Attorney General prosecution of minor offenses across the board.
That's why I don't want to put
so
you on
annually, that's why reports are supposed to be sent. But until it's brought, there's no way you will be.
That's why I don't want to put you on that. But I'm just saying that people, nominees sometimes have the tendency, and it is because we have been poo-pooing nominees who are yet to appear. Please spend some time to prepare. It is for your own good. Probably if Hawa Kumsen, my sister, and she's my sister, if she had spent some time just preparing. I know her, she was a teacher.
And that she was teaching.
Yes.
And she has a difficulty expressing herself in English.
Well, maybe because you knew that the thing will come on camera and those things. But what I'm saying is that, but look at the introductory comments. She was no doubt in the minds of people. It means that she thought over that several times over.
Right.
But her preparation for the vetting was deficient.
Okay. Thank you. Dr. Abochi and Kofi Bent Abochi. Okay, Kofi, is this necessary at all?
It's absolutely necessary. Indeed, we should be doing a bit more. I hope that somewhere in between the terms, there should be a way of calling back minister. Nomination is not the sole prerogative of the president. Please know.
Nomination appointment.
The appointment process is not the sole prerogative of the president. Yeah. But the nomination is the sole prerogative of the president.
Yeah, he said nomination appointment.
We need to make that. Okay.
All right.
The nomination is the sole prerogative of the president, but the appointment is a process that includes parliament.
Right. Dr. Abochi, in 2 minutes or less, is this necessary?
Represents a feedback mechanism. The appointment represents public office, an entrance into public office. And therefore, we need to know whether the person being appointed has the requisite competencies and proficiencies and credibility and capacities as I mentioned. And so it is only feedback that we, as the ultimate appointers, take an feedback mechanism and it cannot be dispensed.
Thank you very much. We'll take a break. I'll return. I'll share some messages that have come in respect of the vetting with you. And thereafter, we'll go to look at the question of the judgment debts that are staring this country in the face. Well, were we promised that having to be saddled with judgment debts once again? Did we learn any lessons from the sole commissioner's report, Justice Appel's report, on how to avoid judgment debts? We'll be right back.
Because you pay attention. Because you know more than one angle and see more than one opportunity. We bring you Build a Bet. Multiple legs as a single bet on one game.
Raised and approved by the Gaming Commission of Ghana. Bet responsibly, not for persons below 18 years.
Are Are you looking for a secured, serene, and gated community located in the heart of the capital city of Ghana? Talk to Waylead Company Ghana Limited. Le Jardin Symphonique is a gated community celebrity golf course. Each home is completed with high-end European finishing. Our homes comes with air conditioners, fans, recessed lights in both living and dining area, state-of-the-art fitted kitchen. Visit Waylead Properties this Christmas period for an amazing end-of-year goodies such as gift vouchers, attractive discounts on each property you choose. Contact us at www.waylead.org. Waylead, home is where one starts from.
Do not take any chances with mosquitoes. Against mosquitoes, day by day protect. Protect your loved ones.
There are many ways to get around, but there's only one way to pay.
Momo? Sure.
You can buy, but there's only one sure way to pay.
Momo?
Yes. There's so much variety, but there's only one sure way to pay. There's so many ways to get together, but there's only one sure way to pay. Got a payment to make? Use MTN Momo. Momo it. We day for you, everywhere you go.
Wedded wife to having to hold from this day forward. I do.
I knew it.
How much drama can you enjoy? See it feely with HD Plus. Get the best companion for your HD TV with HD Plus. Dial *879# to activate and enjoy the first 2 months for free.
And longer-lasting fragrance. Guaranteed to keep you feeling dry and fresh all day long. No matter the heat. Proven 48 hours protection and longer-lasting fragrance with the dry range of deodorants from Nivea.
And now power, huh?
Yeah!
And now oh yeah, Jack Macron more. If you cannot guess it there. Hey, you contumre. Udokni, tomato sauce, I want you baby. And a pasadine for box with salad here. Hey, you stew. And a jollofa. Never to the one. That don't know it though. Or to that. And the ball of ya. Or meant to bunny a joa. You want a pasta sauce. Check for you, sir. Oh, more tasty. And a big beans for the breakfast. And a pan on dairy creamer. For box with so can see oats, na cremitino. You and a pasta spaghetti. Talia papa bee. Mansunin sijadu re. Nafa and a pasta spaghetti no good. Who and a pataliano are you ready for watching on you with you? So you're not pa, no so.
You're welcome back. This is News File. It's your most authoritative news analysis platform. It's brought to you by the candid sponsorship of Bank of Africa, moral and ethical leaders for Africa. Duroplus, where Duroplus goes, water flows. Having mosquito spray and coil, pleasant on humans, tough nightmare on insects. And Upper Foods, it is tasty. DBS Industries provider. Now, let's get to deal with the questions of judgment debt. I'll share your messages with you. There are quite a number of them. I'll share them with you very shortly. Ironically, Lawyer Haruna is defending the seemingly clueless Adjo Asafo, who could believe this: these politicians can make us stand alone in the deep sea. And in relation to that message, another message, Anonymous, says that I am sorry about the total lack of lustry performance, not even of the nominee, but the whole appointments committee. A sour disappointment. A sour disappointment. Edward Seiram, Tutor. How Akumsin should have been able to define it and take the opportunity to share the history, present conditions, and the future of fish farming in Ghana under her tenure. Kofi Amwa says, which agencies were under Hawa Kumsin's former ministry? Ambulance, dam, etc. Dr. Odro says, I'm wondering, should the health minister be able to define acute chest syndrome? I'm wondering, what are the listening question to all nominees? What do you see as main challenges of your job, and how do you propose to overcome them? Prince Ni Aiku says, Madam Hawa Kumsin's debacle should not be reduced to a mere deficiency in English or any local dialect of her choice. She still wouldn't have been able to answer those questions. Okay, so thanks for your messages. Now, let's get to deal with the matters of judgment. And we have, over the period, sought solutions. But the question now is, why don't we seem to overcome it? There has been a judgment debt awarded against Ghana in the sum of 134 million over the cancellation of the GCGP power deal. You remember Ejakon's time and the problems that eventually led to him having to leave national arbitration, seeking an amount of $55 million, all of them in dollars, from Ghana over a cancellation of its contract with Ghana. It had already started working, and we seem to have changed the ministries responsible for the contract after all the approvals were given and they started work subsequently. We decided to take it away from them. And so, yes, Kofi, the matters of judgment debt. And we have received a lot of messages on judgment debt even before we started that discussion. Yes, Kofi? Yes, Kofi, please unmute.
Hello, yeah. Hello, do you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, I'll start with this. Some specifically on the traffic management and a couple of other things. And also we had been speaking about GCNet and complaining that it could lead to a judgment debt. Sometime in, I think, October or November last year, I got a call. It was somebody who was telling me, one, we were wasting our time screaming and shouting about judgment debt. And then the parliament is not fighting it. And then he said that very soon we will hear what will happen and that the judgment debts will hit us. So when the GCGP one hit, it all came back to my mind. My question is, first, how come we don't seem to be resisting these judgment debts that earnestly or passionately? And is it true that these are not being at risk of losing $400 million between the GCGP, GCNet, and then the traffic management, and I think one other? $400 million lost. And sometimes, in the case of GCGP, no work was done. In the case of the traffic management, it was needlessly lost that what you are doing will lead to this. So it's not like they didn't know. And it was just reckless. And we are sitting here looking at 400 million. I would not be this upset if these were mistakes, if these were errors, if these were inadvertent, if these were unforeseeable. But it looks as if we walk into them open-eyed. If you take us, it is in effect. And if you're going to cancel it, do it properly. People just walk in and tear up a contract, and they are told. Sometimes there is the AG's opinion written that please don't go this way, and they still go ahead. And then this call that I got to the effect that nobody is really resisting these, they are genuinely judgment debts or not.
Right. So in respect of the 130 plus million of the power agreement issue, in respect of the Chinese 55 that they are seeking, that one is now in the arbitration. And we do not know if Ghana could make a strong point and then eventually we may not have to pay that amount of money. But what was the basis?
Let me make a quick
what
point.
was the base?
Contract. Every good contract has termination clauses. So if you really want to terminate, you invoke the termination clauses. The termination clauses in that contract were not properly invoked. Immediately you do not invoke the termination clauses properly, you set yourself a mistake also. So the way they went about it really gave us a lot of cause for concern. On a policy level, we did not see the propriety, the need to switch from GCNet to Unipass or to ICOMS, as they were doing, as they were saying. And we put out the analysis and all the work we had to do. The decision, of course, is government's. But we made it clear that there was no real need to do so. If you're going to do that, but that whole approach of doing things anyhow, and when even you are warned, you persist in doing them anyhow, and on willfully causing financial loss. So we warn about all these things. And it is sad that when you do all these and you do all the warnings, they just go ahead. And when they go ahead, you end up with a judgment debt. The state pays the judgment debt. And I keep saying, have a reference to this call that I got. And the which has gone to court and has been determined not to have been a properly paid judgment debt. We have had situations where judges have talked about create, loot, and share. And when you look at everything, where it is clearly not a mistake, you have to question why we do this to ourselves. And indeed, in the case of the Chinese, that is and prevent that $55 million loss, because that contract really has not been totally wiped off. The mistake was made by giving it to another person whilst one was in, Honorable Agoja and co. Parliament now can do something to save this country the $55 million. Any lawyer who looks at that arbitration knows that Ghana is going to lose. When these judgments arise, what the person told me before was that we are not defending ourselves.
Where your heart of patriotism, and repeat what you just said, Ghana will lose?
Yes, I am a Ghanaian. I am a patriot. And I am saying that where my country liable for a debt, it is my patriotic duty not to tell everybody that we will win, but to warn everybody and tell them that what we have done is wrong. And these people are likely to win.
You don't think that and caution the state against it, but once it has gone into the courtroom, so to speak, arbitration, we shouldn't be saying that Ghana will lose?
No, if you do that, you're not a patriot. We should be telling the truth and telling people what to do to save the country, not lie and avoid losing $55 million. One of the ways is for Parliament to recall that thing and fix it. It can be done. Indeed,
that will be the third time. That will be the third time that Parliament has to consider the same contract. It first awarded it to this particular company, and then later on. All right.
There was no emergency.
Okay.
So please, the point is,
hold on there. Let me come to Eunice Ofuseni, because of his presence in Parliament during all of these particular two judgments, and prompting Dr. Abochi ahead of time and Dr. Duce ahead of time. The report of the Commission of Inquiry into Payments from Public Funds arising from judgment debt and Akin matters, pursuant to CI 79, 2012, Justice Yao Apau. So, chapter 6, he identified, among other things, what has been causing the judgment debt. Contractual breaches resulting mostly from unlawful abrogation of government contracts, inadequate legal knowledge, expertise, and appreciation of the drafting of an international agreement, abuse of power by state officials during the execution or performance of their duties, inadequate action or inaction by state attorneys to defend the Republic when there are cases against it. Lack of specialized could help the state to resolve some of these. And there are several others, including undue political interference within the public sector by powerful politicians and cronies. The solution was to avoid these things. So he gave prevention, strong defense, and sanction. In the area of strong defense, he asked, among other things, that we should have lack of proper and adequate supervision by the Solicitor General. With the benefit of this, why are we still here on these two contracts?
Thank you, Samson. Sometimes it actually pains that we ought not to have been here. Two things are quite manifest: undue political interference and impunity. And there's impunity because Mr. or Honorable Boacha Jaku appeared before Parliament in November 2017. He spoke about the rationalization of the energy sector, how certain 2020 to 2025, and how 11 of the PPEs were going to be terminated. So we haven't seen the end yet. We haven't seen the end yet. The 11, Honorable Boacha Jaku also told Parliament that the anticipated costs of the termination of the 11 PPAs was 402.3
was savings.
No. The anticipated costs of the termination. So he knew that the termination will incur costs.
Okay.
So now what is the cost? The terminations will incur or impose a burden on the state of Ghana. He knew that. But he said that the terminations would, and he put this against a capacity cost. In his view, costs. They produce, they are available, but you don't need the power. He said that, in fact, the capacity cost that they had calculated was $586 million. He said this in Parliament. So if you were going to 102 million and 39, you were making savings.